Hi, I'm Dr. K.P. McKee, founder and executive director of a Spacious Place Creativity and Spirituality Center. We are midway through Holy Week, and just on the cusp of its manic descent into violence, suffering, and death. The key players in this story surely were besieged by strong emotion: rage, terror, denial, despair. And in the dark night of the soul, and in this particular season of uncertainty, we can understand all of those feelings. We do well to be honest with ourselves and with God about what we're feeling and the questions we have. One of Holy Week's key players can be our guide on this journey into soul authenticity. And as we follow his journey, we can remember that this week, which ended in tragedy, opened onto another that began in resurrection and joy. Erratic, impassioned Peter. We think of Peter with a knowing half smile. His rash words and actions smack more of the guy down the street than of the holy sainthood. Peter, we understand. His passions took him all over the map. He was the first to name Jesus as the Christ, then turned around and lectured Jesus on how the Messiah job ought to work, absolutely no suffering permitted. When Jesus, wearing servant garb, approached Peter with a basin of water, the disciple asserted, "You will never wash my feet." When Jesus explained the act's communal significance, Peter demanded, "Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head." We have to love this guy. That same night, he brashly told Jesus, "I will lay down my life for you." A few hours later, in the blackness of fear and night, Peter denied even knowing his Lord, thrice. Easter morn found him diving into the empty tomb, leaving John to stand respectfully outside. But then he turned around and went home. Not knowing what else to do, Peter returned to his former employment. Standing aboard his fishing boat, Peter spied a man on shore roasting fish for an early breakfast. Recognizing the beloved visage, even from a distance, Peter threw himself into the water. His desire could not abide the ship's slow progress. He swam to his Lord. After breakfast, Jesus gave the ardent apostle not a lecture, not a reproof, but a call to deeper love and new work. And Peter, impassioned, forgiven, and challenged, went from that dawn breakfast into a new call. He healed. He stood up to the powers that be. Quote, "We cannot keep from speaking about what we have seen and heard." End quote. He preached with power. Yet he was still good old Peter, messing up and starting over, letting fear lead him around by the nose, then remembering his transformation and giving it another go. I find Peter mighty heartening. When the night baptizes us in fire, it stings. Yet everything we offer to the flame, God transforms. If we hide our flaws and passions in shame, or if we flagellate ourselves with guilt, if we insist on fixing ourselves, God's night cannot do its work. The dark night challenges us to release our need to be perfect. Instead, we let God embrace us just as we are. We can spend the rest of our lives weeping with Peter in the night, or on the dawn of a new day, we can swim ashore and join a resurrected Jesus for a flame-baked breakfast. And here are our resources for today. It's both of the pages there.
Just hang it up because it has to.
And we also invite you to join our prayer wall. Here is the address. This is an underscore. And you can see other offerings we have for this time on our Facebook page, right here. And we will be here at the same time tomorrow, and on Saturday, Holy Saturday, we generally set up silent prayer centers in our home and invite people to come in and partake. We will be doing that virtually this year. So at 2:30 you will see a film where you can pause and do the prayers that are restorative for you. And speaking of that, let's close in prayer. I am alone. No one knows my agony. The bread tastes stale and the wine bitter. Will I ever feel communion with you again? I am too confused, too broken, too angry with you to help anyone, Lord. Help me help them anyway. For those who walk with me through the lonesome valley, Lord, I give you thanks. Amen.